Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your reading. If you are a Sag, Sun, Moon, or Rising, then this video is for you. Your reading I'm expecting to be extra long because when I was shuffling your oracle, not only did I get 2 Goddess Dream Oracle cards, but I got 3 sets of scenario and answer cards, and one of them has 2 answers. So this is going to be a really long reading I'm expecting. We're just going to run through the itinerary. We're going to look at all of your oracle cards, see what I get from that. We'll pull some tarot for your general month of October. And then we'll look at your love and relationships, career and finances, health and spirituality. There will be music playing in the background. You may not be able to hear it, but I can. And if something seems to resonate, I'll go ahead and point it out to you. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started because your reading is probably going to be the longest one. So let's see what we got here, Sag. We have card number 28, Gentleman. With all these scenarios, you must have a lot of crap on your head right now, by the way. So scenario 1, we have stress is affecting me. Blank will help me calm down. Screaming fuck at the top of my lungs will help me calm down. And crystals will help me calm down. Just don't scream fuck at your crystals. That's not very good crystal care. I don't feel like working on myself, but blank could change my life for the better. That's an interesting card. Shutting my mouth and listening could change my life for the better. Damn. A negative pattern keeps showing up from my past. Blank could be the first part to clearing it. Not spending my entire paycheck on shit I don't need. So, yeah, I'm getting a negative pattern keeps showing up. Stress is affecting me. I don't feel like working on myself. This sounds very... Are we in a cycle, Sagittarius? Are we in an unhealthy cycle? We have card number 13, I am ready, thank you. So some blessings want to come to you in the month of October, but you're being kind of resistant. Possibly because you're attached to certain behaviors. We have card number 4, balance, light and dark. And then we'll put her over here. And then we have intuition, card number 20, inner wisdom. Okay. That's a lot. So let's go ahead and get into it. I feel like you've, probably been in a cycle lately of coping mechanisms. And it's because while you do know certain things need to change, you're kind of right now just focused on getting the dopamine that you need. I feel like with the moon that we see back here in the background of this card, and we have a moon in the background of this card, and then we have balance with the sun in the background here, and this is a daytime scene with the gentleman. There is a need to balance your higher self and integrate your shadow into yourself. I find it really interesting that for stress is affecting me, you got 2 different answers. You got crystals and you got screaming fuck at the top of my lungs. Those could... There's very few things that could be more opposite than those 2. When I think of crystals, I think of peacefulness, I think of grounding. But screaming fuck at the top of my lungs is also very cathartic, and that's something that you do when you need to release a lot of energy and stress. Um, and then your other advice is to shut your mouth and listen. And not spend your entire paycheck on shit you don't need. So the only thing you need to be spending your entire paycheck on, Sagittarius, is crystals. Buy all the crystals. That does not fall into the category of shit you don't need. You need crystals. Um, I think you're kind of just in this place where you know that the knowledge and skills that you currently have to better your life are not working out for you. And you're recognizing that you do need to get advice from other people and you need to learn to take the advice. With screaming fuck at the top of my lungs, it's making me think of the idea of acceptance, with how we don't have to like where life is. We don't have to like the things that we have to do. You can still accept without liking it. This is literally like making me think of like wanting to buy like, I don't know, a new phone. You want to buy a new phone. And a friend reminds you, like, oh, hey, like, you wanted to buy that new phone, but didn't you also, like, need to buy, like, I don't know, don't you also need to get, like, your headlights replaced? And, like, it all just kind of fits together to me. Like, oh, I want to buy this new phone. Well, don't you need to get your headlights replaced? Fuck. Yes, I do. And you listen. And you hold on to that money. You buy a pretty little crystal instead, which is much cheaper than a new phone. And you can still pay for your headlights. Like, it just kind of all fits together for me. I don't know if it's that clear for you guys, but also with balance is, you get your paycheck and you make sure that your bills are paid and that the important things that you need to pay for are paid for. Then you can have fun with your money. Maybe not as much fun as you want it, but you're also not spending it on things that you don't need. With I am ready, thank you, that does show me that the universe wants to bring blessings to you, but you kind of need to step out of certain patterns first, and then those blessings can come to you. Intuition shows me that on a, for lack of better wording, intuitive part, you know what it is you need to be doing, but for some reason you're finding it hard to motivate yourself to do those things. I am ready, thank you. Actually, the ritual associated with that is cleaning your front door so that you can invite the right energy into your home. I almost want to suggest to you that you clean your entire house and declutter it. See if there's anything that you have that you don't need anymore. See if there's anything that you have that you didn't know you had. If there's books that you're not reading, maybe you can read those books rather than spending your paycheck. If there's movies you haven't watched yet, there's games you haven't played yet, so on and so forth. The gentleman for that card, he is having to outsmart a tiger that is terrorizing his village. I don't think there's anything outside of you that's terrorizing you. I think you're needing to find strategies to outsmart yourself. Also, tigers could be a symbol for you, and owls could be a symbol for you. And actually, rooster. She has a little rooster down there. This goddess here is Amaterasu. I need to look at the book really fast to get something with the gentleman, but I think his folktale is... No. His folktale is Vietnamese. She's Japanese. They're not the same. Never mind. You could, in general, have an interest in Asian cultures. I'm not seeing anything else really popping out at me, so let's go ahead and get into your tarot. Okay, we have the High Priestess in the reverse. Yeah, you need to listen to your intuition. We have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Sunshine by Cosmo Jarvis is playing in the background, and while I don't see how it directly correlates, it's catching me, so maybe at the very least you'll be able to laugh at that song. Okay, so with the High Priestess, that is Pisces and Taurus energy, and that's card number 2. So we have 2, 20, and 28. So 2 could be important, I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a strong need here for you to start listening to your intuition. While you do need to be using your mental facilities to maybe start outsmarting yourself out of unhealthy habits that you might have, at the same time, you also need to stop talking yourself into your unhealthy habits. If you want to do something and there's a small part of your brain that's like, I shouldn't do that. I'm gonna need this money, for example, or maybe I shouldn't drink right now. Maybe listen to that. It might not make sense in the moment why you need to listen to that, but you're gonna need to be listening to that. It could be that Spirit's trying to warn you that something is going to happen in the month of October that's going to be financially expensive and you don't see it yet, and you need to hold on to money for that reason. With the Queen of Cups here, in the reverse, you're needing to be pouring into yourself right now. Maybe you spend your paycheck on other people. Yeah. I'm feeling like, because the Queen of Cups in reverse, she is bringing me right back to the thing I said earlier about like maybe you have things around your house that you could use to entertain yourself that you've forgotten about. Video games, board games, card games, books you haven't read, movies you haven't watched. Maybe shows that you have on DVD that you've never watched. Look around at what you already have to figure out how you can spend time with yourself, be at home a little bit more, hold on to your money right now. You really need to be doing that. And then with the Knight of Swords in reverse over here, I feel like I want to tell you to take things people are telling you right now with a grain of salt, especially if they're making promises. I I see you needing to again stay home, spend your time at home, try not to spend your money unnecessarily, and clean up your house, nest a little bit, start getting the house ready for winter time. I just heard winter is coming. Good gods. Um yeah, I feel like you also need to just be taking things promises people make to you with a grain of salt. Not everyone this month is going to be keeping their promises, I feel like. And that's part of why you need to be just spending more time at home, spending a little bit more time with yourself. Have a nice, quiet month this October. With shutting my mouth and listening, I was sort of thinking earlier, like, not just shutting your mouth and listening to the things that people do say, but also listen to the things they're not saying. What is being said between the lines? I feel like that's something else that you need to be doing is, and that goes with intuition a little bit. What are people not directly saying? If you feel like someone is thinking or feeling something that they're not actually sharing with you, then that could very well be true right now. So let's go ahead and get into your other three sections. Okay. We have the Queen of Coins here. We have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Devil reverse. That's all for love and relationships. For career and finances, we have the King of Cups. Your cards are just flying out, Sag. Okay, we have the King of Cups coming out with the Four of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Wands. You're getting a lot of face cards. Jesus. Three of Swords in reverse. Okay. And the Nine of Coins. Okay, so in terms of signs and numbers, the Devil is Capricorn energy, and is he really the only major arcana? He is. So Capricorn energy, and that's also card number 15. I feel like I see a lot of red here. I see a lot of red. You could be seeing red right now. It could also just be that red is an important color at this moment in time. You could be needing to connect with your root chakra. Root chakra is the base chakra, and it is about our security. Okay, we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to move these to the side for the moment so I can focus in on particular cards. Okay. So, for love and relationships, you have the Queen of Coins, the Nine of Swords, and the Devil in the reverse. You are in a place right now where, again, you're going to be a little bit more independent. You're spending more time to yourself. I do feel like it might have you a little in your head. It might have you a bit anxious. What you're in your head about could very well be the things that people aren't saying out loud. Especially if there's people in your life where you feel like there's things not being said, I would highly suggest that you pull your energy away from them for the moment. Let them figure their shit out and then come to you. And I feel like that's especially supported here with the Devil in reverse. Anything that feels codependent, anything that feels toxic, you're not entertaining that right now. You're getting to where you're much better at recognizing that in other people, and you're just like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't want to be pouring my energy into that. I feel like for some of you, it's not, some of you, it is going to be things that people aren't saying out loud. And then for others of you, while you are enjoying your independence, you do know how to take care of yourself. Some of your anxiety could be surrounding, like, God, am I just going to be alone forever? Is this just what life looks like? And some people do end up deciding that they would honestly like rather be alone than to entertain connections. You should always choose alone over a bad connection. That is just an across the board rule. Always choose yourself over a bad connection. But honestly, like being alone isn't terrible either. Falling in love with yourself is completely worth it. Falling in love with yourself, learning to spend time quietly alone at home. And that could be what spirit is wanting you to do, is to just spend time at home with your little creature comforts, with the things that you can do quietly, maybe with one or two other people, and relearning a sense of contentment and knowing that this is what it should feel like. You should feel peaceful and content most of the time, right? So that's what I see for you for love and relationships. Just not entertaining toxicity and just spending more time with yourself right now. For career and finances, we have the King of Cups in the up hand, the Four of Swords in the reverse, and the Queen of Wands in the reverse. It is interesting that we have a pair here. We have the Queen of Cups in the reverse, and then we have the King of Cups right here. In fact, we have 3 out of the 4 queens out. So that indicates to me that the majority of your time right now is going to be spent tending to self and doing things that are more nurturing, being more on the receiving end, and paying attention to what feels good more than really anything else. Not putting a lot of pressure on yourself to do, not putting a lot of pressure on yourself to provide, to have a lot of structure, to be really strict. Like we're chilling. There is a lot of we are just chilling right now energy. With the King of Cups in reverse, not in reverse, I'm sorry, with the King of Cups in the up hand being in your career and finances sector, you could be feeling a lot of emotional generosity towards people that you work with. You're probably getting along with people. That's not quite what that signifies, though. Like, you just are finding that, like, because you're not pouring so much into other people, you're pouring a lot into yourself. So when you're at work and, people are stressed out or they're not in a great mood or they're feeling down or whatever, you have that extra capacity to go ahead and just help make the work environment or your school environment much more emotionally fulfilled. You're finding it easy within yourself right now to make your work environment or your school environment a much more congenital. That's not even a word I use. I'm not even sure what that word means, to be honest with you, but it's nice. You can pour into it. You can take people out of their bad emotions. You can take people out of their bad moods. You can bring them up. You can make them feel better. With the Four of Swords in the reverse, you might be working a little bit more than you were the month beforehand. Excuse me. You might definitely find yourself working a bit more in October, and that could be part of why you're just like coming home and like, I want to melt on the couch. I want to doze off to a movie. I just want to listen to a podcast. I just want to read a book. Like, you might find it easy in the month of October to just come home and not do anything. And coming home and not doing anything, honestly, is really good for your pocketbook. With the Queen of Wands in the reverse, though, again, like it's coming back to the idea of feeling less than confident, feeling less than creative. You might be feeling a little drained. Um, October is really a recovery month for you, Sagittarius. I feel like you're recovering your energy. I feel like you're recovering your money. Um, it could very well be that you simply have the energy to deal with work and nothing else. And that's okay. It's okay to have months like that. We don't have to be dynamic all the time. All right? So that's what I see for your career and finances. Let's go ahead and move over to health and spirituality. So we have the Three of Swords in the reverse, and we have the Nine of Coins. This is an interesting energy. You could be recently single. A lot of you, I feel like, are recently single or recently ending a connection. I say that because the Three of Swords in reverse is healing pain, healing sorrow, getting over heartache. And the Nine of Coins is self-sufficiency and independence. That could be where all of this is stemming from, is the fact that you maybe are recently single, or maybe being single isn't recent, but feeling better about it is. I did say over here that there might be a little bit of anxiety over things that people are not saying to you, or, maybe some anxiety over the idea of, am I going to be alone forever? Is this what life looks like? I do feel like maybe you'll have more of that anxiety in the beginning of the month, but by the end of the month, you're cool. You're fine. By the end of the month, I see you not really minding being alone and being single. I don't see you minding the idea of dating yourself and just spending time with friends. And you doing you until someone comes around that is worthy of you doing them as well, you know? So, so this is all I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you for coming to your reading. Go ahead and click on over to the other signs as you see fit. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your reading was not as long as I thought it was going to be. It was actually one of the middle, shorter readings. That's always nice. And I will see you again soon. Be good, be safe, and love and light to you. Bye.